for example, you're doing 50 sets of chest a week. You're like, you know what, I want to proper blow up my chest. I want a chest like Arnold. And you're like, you know what, that's the only thing I'm going to train. I'm going to train it every single day. I'm going to do loads of sets per week. I'm going to do loads of chest flies. I'm going to do loads of incline. I'm going to do loads of decline. I'm going to do loads of dips. What will happen is your chest will never ever recover. And in fact, you lose strength in your lifts. It'll just never recover. And because you lose strength in your lifts, you will not gain any muscle. And the thing is, even if you were to gain any muscle and you're doing the right stimulus, you're not giving it enough rest. You only need around 10 to 20 sets per body part per week for like the 99% of people, like normal people. I'm not talking about, professional bodybuilders. I'm talking about normal people like me and you. How often should I work out when losing weight and trying to build muscle? Now, when I first started working out, I had no idea. I had no idea how often you should work out, how often you should, have a rest day, how often you should basically take it a bit easy. Now, if you're a beginner or if you're someone who's quite experienced in the gym, the simplest and most easiest way to measure your volume is to literally measure your volume. So if you have your program right in front of you right now, just check how many sets you're doing per body part per week. Now, if you're doing around 5 to 10 to around 20, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Now, if you're doing more than 20 to 30, then you're in a bit of a red zone. Now, if you're doing about more than 30 sets per body part per week, then you need to tone it down, because sometimes less is more. If you're doing, say for example, you're doing 50 sets of chest a week, you're like, you know what, I want to proper blow up my chest. I want a chest like Arnold. And you're like, you know what, that's the only thing I'm going to train. I'm going to train it every single day. I'm going to do loads of sets per week. I'm going to do loads of chest flies. I'm going to do loads of incline. I'm going to do loads of decline. I'm going to do loads of dips. What will happen is your chest will never ever recover. And in fact, you lose strength in your lifts. It'll just never recover. And because you lose strength in your lifts, you will not gain any muscle. And the thing is, even if you were to gain any muscle and you're doing the right stimulus, you're not giving it enough rest. You only need around 10 to 20 sets per body part per week for like the 99% of people, like normal people. I'm not talking about, professional bodybuilders. I'm talking about normal people like me and you. Now, if you're like, you know what, Ismail, I want to blow up something. Like, say for example, you want better chest gains, you want better shoulder gains. Then what you can do is you can train it more frequently, and then you can aim for maybe 20 to 30 sets. From 5 to 20, that is the highest ROI. That is the highest return on your investment. With that, you will make the most gains. Now, from 20 to 30, you can make and you will make a little bit more gains compared to 5 to 20 sets. But the amount of work, extra work you have to put in, for most people, it is not worth it. It is not worth it, because there is a slight increase in the potential of gains, but it will take up a lot more of your time, and you will have to be a bit more meticulous with your training program. But for most people, 5 to 20 body parts per body part per week is fine. Is absolutely fine. With some things, they respond better to more volume. Like, for example, I found shoulders respond better to more volume, because you can just hit your shoulders in so many different ways, because the shoulder is like a 360 degree joint. And another thing which responds more to more volume, for me anyways, is biceps. I feel like my biceps and my shoulders are a weak point. So recently with this new program I've been trying, I'm trialing now. I'm doing shoulders and biceps 3 times a week. Now I'm still within the 5 to 20 sets, but I'm hitting them more frequently. They're getting more stimulus more frequently. Sure, I could go up, like for example, I could do around 30 sets, but then something would definitely suffer as a point, and I don't want anything to suffer. If anything, I want to maintain the other parts, like my chest, my back. I want to maintain it. If not, try and even grow it, get more stronger. Of course, the aim is to get stronger, which we will get onto in a second. But I'm going to be hitting certain parts more frequently, and you can do that as well. But make sure you stay within maximum of 30 sets. Ideally, about 20 sets. But if you're someone who's more experienced, you're like, you know what, I've exhausted all the gains I can get at 20 sets per chest, for example, per week, then of course bump that up. But also you have to keep that balance. and your split matters as well. Like for example, when I do push pull legs, I feel absolutely knackered by the end of the workout. And now if you don't know what push pull legs is it's chest, it's triceps, and it's front delts and side delts. So you're hitting 4 body parts in just one day. Now by the end of the workout, what would happen to me was I would be so tired I could not hit whatever the last body part was. So say I would always start off with chest, because chest, I wanted to grow my upper chest. So my chest would get hit properly with full energy, because that's the first thing I'm hitting. Then I would hit my side delts, because side delts are very important in gaining an aesthetic physique. Then it's like, okay, if you have to pick your poison, because would you rather your front delt lifts suffer, or would you rather your triceps suffer? Then you just have to pick something, and something will be hit with very low intensity, very low strength, just because of the sheer volume of the push day. And I tried everything, right? I tried lowering the sets, I tried changing the order of the workout. So I would hit sometimes triceps first, I would do side delts first, I would do front delt first. But either way, it was just the same thing. I would change the order, I would change the amount of sets, amount of reps, and it would be the same thing. So that matters as well, because if you're trying to, how often you should work out and trying to gain, build muscle and lose weight, it depends on your energy level as well. Because if you're tired and you're going in the gym, or by the end of your workout you're tired and you're not hitting your chest properly, of course your chest is not going to grow. Of course you're not going to lose weight if you don't even have enough energy to do your cardio workout with maximum energy. Not even maximum energy, but enough energy for you to see some kind of results. So your workout split matters as well. Now when you're trying to build muscle, the most important thing is progressive overload. For a very, very long time, and there's been seasons in my life actually, especially when I first started working out. I always say I started working out in 2013, but I properly fully learned how to work out and what things to avoid, what things to do. Basically cracked the code of fitness around like 2021, even though in 2019 I did go through a weight loss transformation where I lost around 30 pounds. But in terms of muscle building, in terms of health in general, I cracked the code of that around 2021. Because prior to that, even though I had lost weight multiple times, my body was not healthy, my skin was not good, and the skin is a reflection of the gut, and the gut is basically where health is. If you have a healthy gut, everything else will be fine. Your serotonin will be fine, your skin will be fine, your gains will be good, your energy levels will be good, your hormones will be good, your testosterone will be high, your energy levels will be high. But before that, I was kind of not shooting in the dark. I did have a lot of knowledge in terms of how to lift, form, gains, but there was a lot of times where I would go through the motions at the gym. Does that make sense? Where I would just do my routine and kind of go home. I wouldn't push myself as much as I needed to. And because of that, sometimes if you think about it in theory, I could have been so far ahead of where I actually am right now, because I didn't keep progressive overload in mind. I didn't keep in mind that you have to go harder than last time every single time. That's what the gym is. To get stronger and to build muscle, you must go harder than last time. Now let me give you a practical example. Say you started, or say since last year you've been bench pressing 60 kilograms, which is 220 kilogram plates, right? You do flat benching, which I don't really recommend, but say you've been doing 60 kilogram bench press and that's all you've been able to do, and you have not progressed past that for maybe 3-4 months, then you're not been going harder than last time. That's what I did. I would do 60 kg and I would say, next time, I wouldn't even think it sometimes. I'd be like, I've done my chest set, let's hit triceps and call it a day and go home. Every single time you need to go harder than last time. Every single time, man. Don't ever forget that, because that's what weightlifting, that's what self-improvement, that's what life, that's what progression is. To always constantly improve, to evolve. You might get to a point, this might be an epiphany for some of you. You're like, I haven't been gaining strength in such and such an exercise. Like for example, for squat, you might not be progressing because you're scared. A lot of people, they actually they want to get strong, they want to build muscle, they want to look good, they want to look aesthetic, but they're scared of lifting the weights, the heavy weights. But it's just a mental thing. A lot of the time, what I've realized is you need to feel the heavy weight. You need to feel it. Like for example, say you like me, for example, when I was I think I was 15 or 16, I was stuck on 60 kg bench. Or this was when I used to work out at home. I had a bench press station, so I was hitting 60 kg And I thought, you know what, I'm 15 years old, 16 years old, this is crazy, right? I'm unbelievably strong. At the time I was, compared to other people, compared to, people in my school, people who I knew, they didn't even know what gym was, they didn't even know what bench pressing was, they didn't know anything about form, about fitness, about gym. But the thing is, I was at that 60 kg, then that became like a comfort weight for me. I could not progress past that. It was like a mental thing. Until I went to a commercial gym and I was, some guy was there that I knew, and I basically ended up hitting chest with him. And then just by chance, he put on 60 kg and then he put on like a 2.5 kg or 1.25. And I could just do it so easily because I had just gotten stronger and I just stopped going harder than last time, even though I had the full capability and the strength to do so. And then as soon as he put on that 1.1 and a quarter or 2.5, whatever it was, then it's like, in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, I can do more than 60 kg. Then quickly I progressed to 65, then 70, then 80, 85, 90. Then I was at about 90. Then I kind of stopped doing flat bench pressing. I switched over to incline pressing just, for the aesthetic benefit. But if that's someone like you and, you've not been going hard, or you're going to start going to the gym, always remember, go harder than last time, because especially when you're new as well, because you have newbie gains. The people who join the gym, they make the most gains at the rapid pace, because they call it newbie gains, but I have a theory where it's because your muscles are feeling a new stimulus. That's why you make gains rapidly. And especially if you're going through puberty, you're like 15, 16, 17, whatever, how old you are. If you're young and you start going to the gym, you'll get very strong, very quick. You'll go for a recomposition and your hormones will look crazy. Your hormones will aid you in a crazy way. So if you're thinking about how often you should work out, about losing weight and whatnot, make sure you're hitting the right amount of sets per body part per week. Make sure you're going harder than last time. If you're a bit confused about what you should do, especially if you're a brown guy like I used to be, where there's literally no influencers or anybody online that can help you with cultural problems, with diet issues, with the aesthetic body program, then my Skool community will be of interest to you. It's free to join. I'm looking for about 20 members to join for free, founding members. And yeah, I basically help you out with whatever, with literally anything you want. That's the easiest way to summarize it. You can literally join right now, join today, put in a post. And for example, your post might be, Ismail, I'm struggling with my bench press form. I don't feel it in my chest. I'm feeling it in my shoulders. Let's just say, for example, that was your post, right? I would literally see what you've posted, reply to you within like a day, maybe 2 days maximum. And I've saved you like weeks, months, years of your life. So yeah, if that's something of interest to you, if you're someone who just wants general help, you just want to be part of my community, part of a health and fitness kind of space, and you feel like you have a lot to contribute, a lot to learn from, then join my free Skool community. The link will be in the description below, the first one. Click on that. Thank you.